I told my mom to get an $8 subscription. Then she said, pay me $26,000 from your college inheritance.
What? That doesn't seem like a fair trade.
My mother had bought an Android TV box that can stream any new show or movie for free.
That can scream.
Now, I told her this was technically illegal, but her response was, streaming isn't illegal because we aren't even downloading the content. So I said, all right, and I left. Turns out our internet service provider is not too keen on this though, and it throttles our entire network to unbearable speeds anytime the Android TV box is in use. The box will hog all of the throttled bandwidth so the movie will stream, but every other device will be kicked off of the network. So it prioritizes the illegal streaming and kicks off everything else.
Sounds like Spectrum wants you to be illegal.
When I told my mother about this or asked her to pause for just a bit so I'm able to get my work done, her response is always, I pay for the internet and it seems to be working, so you can deal with not having internet while I'm watching TV.
Dude, OP's trying to do some work.
I've been dealing with this for 2 weeks now. Get this. I was disqualified from 2 job interview technical tests. I had to plead to retake a midterm with my professor, and I often get booted when I'm on the phone with my girlfriend, who I'm in a long distance relationship with. When my mom left for a bit that day, I started doing some troubleshooting and found that a VPN fixes the problem. So when my mom came back, I told her that the VPN fixes the problem and that she should use one anyways since her activities are illicit.
If you're gonna do danger stuff, make sure to have danger protection.
Danger's my middle name.
Her response, unsurprisingly, was, I bought the box to stop paying for subscriptions. I'm not gonna pay for something when the TV works just fine. You can live without the internet.
How can anyone live without the internet?
You're watching TV? I'm applying to jobs. OP is in a big pickle, a dill pickle. I thought she'd at least be reasonable, and I was gonna offer to pay for half of the yearly subscription. But instead, I was just shocked. Shortly after, she came in and told me that I should have paid for the VPN because I'm the one who would be using it anyways. I told her that's not how it works. I wouldn't be using it, but I'd be willing to split the cost with her. She didn't like that answer, and then she started going off by saying, you're 22 and you don't pay for anything. You should at least be paying for rent and to use our internet. My parents told me that I could live rent-free until I graduate college, which led me to go to my local university to save money and not have to pay for room and board. My tuition, on the other hand, is just barely covered by the small amount that my grandfather left me when he passed away. But the account holder's name is my mother's. If that doesn't cover my tuition, I'd have to pay everything out of pocket. My brother, on the other hand, moved out to go to college, and his finances are a different story. My mom pays completely for his tuition, room, board, and groceries.
How's that fair?
So he doesn't have to work while he goes to school. The tuition, room, and board for him are almost 3 times my annual tuition alone. Yet she still pays for that without batting an eye. My mother continued going off, telling me that starting now, I'll have to pay rent and it'll be $1,200 a month. She also said I'd have to pay for the VPN so I can use the internet, and I'll pay for the internet since you're the one who always uses it anyways. And she finished off her list of demands by stating, also, the trust won't be covering your tuition anymore, and you need to pay me back the $26,000 it's paid out already.
But that was left from the grandpa.
I was just silent and left. I broke down into tears when I got out to my car and I just started driving. I haven't talked to her since, and I'm just fuming that she would hold my inheritance ransom. I was just planning to yeet out of there the day I graduate. But every month is something else that's my fault and I have to pay for. Started off with groceries, and I now never buy groceries or make dinner for my parents. Then when I got my tax refund, my mom said she should get half of it because I did your taxes, so I deserve half. And I didn't even ask her to do my taxes. I just came home one day and she had finished them. Same thing with my stimulus checks during COVID. My father and I were going to see a show tonight. He sees the stark contrast in the way that she treats me versus my brother, and has even told me before, I know she treats you differently than everyone else, and you just need to not cause a ruckus or stir anything up with her, and just leave as soon as you graduate. But he won't actually stand up for me or oppose her on anything. Whatever she says goes. There's an update. Also, in response to checking my social security security number and financials, I know that they aren't draining my accounts for one reason or the next. She wasn't in debt or anything. Her and my father were married, and they've amassed a small fortune where money isn't really an issue for either of them for the rest of their lives.
Why are they treating him like this then?
She's just being evil. There's no other reason. Also, as for the trust, I am not allowed to touch it except for paying my tuition and tuition only until I'm 25. So I can't drain it and run it out. Also, I just silently paid for the VPN and put it on the box last night. I haven't talked to or seen my mother since last night. I'm going to just keep my head down and try to survive another 2 months. I'm hoping that nothing will come of it after graduation, in which I will be long gone. I'm deep into my senior final project in college and can't just uproot and leave because I won't have anywhere to set up my desktop to finish. I could if school wasn't in person this semester. I was planning to move out of state and live with my girlfriend this year, but the college pushed to be in person way earlier than anyone expected.